Hello again. I just posted a video a few minutes ago and it came to me that there was also something else that I wanted to share, completely different topic, and I hope that it'll be encouraging to you. Um, Especially right now during the Christmas season, a lot of people are depressed and lonely and kind of lost, especially with the things that are going on in this country right now and all over the world. People just need hope. And because of that, I've been wanting to share a couple of stories that I experienced in my own walk. Um, and it has to do with faith, and it has to do with not giving up, and it has to do with knowing the Lord and trusting Him when the situation seems untenable. Let me just share a story and let it go from there. Early on in my walk, the Lord sent me down to North Carolina, and He sent me down there where I think I went down there with $400 in my pocket, one suitcase of clothes, and an old, I think it was like an '84 white Escort that I had. I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't have a job set up. All I knew was that the Lord wanted me to return down there. Well, I I lived out of my car for a few weeks, and at the time, it would have cost me about $80 to drive back to Michigan, which is where I'm from, to basically move back in with my mother or my father or whoever would have taken me in. But I had a couple of doors that I could have done it. Well, I knew that the Lord has sent me there, even though I didn't understand how I was going to take care of myself or survive even. And I got to that point where I was faced with the choice, okay, cut and run or trust Him. Well, I trusted Him. I made that 80 something dollars stretch for I think another week. And I remember I had $6 left, and I'm sitting in a park reading my Bible, and throughout the whole time, I just said, Lord, I'm going to trust you. I knew that, I know that you sent me here, and I'm just going to trust you. Well, during those kinds of periods, you end up asking yourself, did the Lord really say that? Is this the Lord? Am I crazy? What am I going to do? And I would just banish those thoughts. I would just push them away and say, no, as soon as they came up, no, no, I'm going to trust Him no matter what. Even if I'm wrong and I'm crazy, you know, I'm just going to trust Him. Well, I got to that point where I'm sitting in that park, and a distant cousin showed up in the park, and things just came together. He gave me a place to stay. I I got a job at just the right time where I was almost out of gas, and I got paid, and everything just came together, and his purpose fell out. There was another time a few years ago where I'm older in my walk, and I understand him and how he works in his expectations so much more accurately and more deeply. Well, I got to another point like that where this time I'm in Alabama. I had been I had a job, a really good job that I ended up losing at the time. And it was through no fault of my own. It just fell out that way. Well, I knew that the Lord was in everything that had happened up until that. And I got to another point where I lost I lost my job and I couldn't pay the rent anymore. I got to the point where I ate through all the money that I had. All of my credit cards were maxed out, but I knew that the Lord had brought me down there for a reason. I totally relocated again, just based upon dreams and other things that I knew was from the Lord. Again, I could have cut and run and returned to Michigan, and ended up couch surfing with a family member or something and basically starting all over again. But I said, no, Lord, I know you brought me down here. And I had a dream that encouraged me. So I trusted him again. And doors opened and, I made it through. I started to prosper again. But it was a test. Many of the things, for those of us who know the Lord and trust him and we try to follow him with everything that we have and everything that we are, no matter what, the Lord is always going to come through. No matter how mature you become in your walk, your faith has to be tested, because it's only through those moments of testing that it grows strong, and we demonstrate to the world that we trust the Lord with everything, no matter what. It's a requirement. Oftentimes, we will do things where we disobey the Lord, whether knowingly or unknowingly, for whatever reason, where we bring hardships upon ourselves. Yet even in those things, the Lord is merciful. We are just reaping what we've sown. But again, even in those moments, the Lord is with us and he's watching. Everything is about learning lessons. To those of you who know the Lord and you're going through struggles, but you've done everything that you know of, everything you can do, in ways that are right before the Lord, you don't know what you've done. You don't know why you're going through what you're going through. Just trust him. Just trust him, no matter what. No matter what happens, there's a purpose for it all, even if we don't understand. Let's say that you're going to lose your home. Okay, you lose your home. You still have him. Watch how things fall out. It's for his purposes. Now, sometimes, like I said, we're reaping what we've sown, but sometimes we're just being tested. And until everything is over, it's not over. Never give up. Never stop trusting him. Acknowledge the things that you've done wrong. When you know that you've done wrong, when you've made bad decisions, acknowledge them. Ask him to forgive you and ask him for his help. Sometimes we have to reap what we sow because, we brought it upon ourselves. But he'll still be there for us. Even if it's not the way that we want him to be, he'll still be there for us. I hope that what I've said has encouraged you in some way to not to give up. Never give up. Trust him. He loves you. He's the perfect Father. Being the perfect Father, though, means that he can't always give us what we want or how we want it, because he knows best. Plus, he's just, which means that if we've done wrong, we have to account for that wrong. He's not condemning us, but he's just letting us reap what we've sown in hopes that we learn from it and grow, because that's eternally more important than what may be important for us in the moment. It's difficult to explain, and it may be difficult to understand, but it's the raw truth. Stay encouraged, brothers and sisters. He loves you. No matter what you're going through, he loves you, and it's all for a purpose. Trust him.